Are you ready for a world without plastic? We are all too aware of the environmental consequences of plastic and the need to reduce its use. But what if there is a replacement for plastic that is completely natural and eco-friendly? Believe it or not, that replacement is already here, and it is seaweed. In today's video, we will explore the potential of seaweed as a replacement for plastic and the exciting possibilities it offers for a greener future. Keep reading to find out more. Hello and welcome to Businessville. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive more amazing content. Now, let's get started with the video. How to control plastic pollution. Our consumer society is built on long-lasting plastic pillars. Those pillars, however, are gradually sinking into a liquid foundation, aka the ocean. However, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is not the only place to look for plastic. As strange as it may sound, tiny shreds of microplastics were discovered on the summit of Mount Everest, the highest peak on Earth, as well as the Mariana Trench, the deepest spot in the ocean. While we wait for the potentially alarming response to that question, you may have another. Why aren't we recycling plastic? The answer is somewhat complicated because it is dependent on the type of plastic in question. Unfortunately, recycling the majority of the plastic we produce is not financially viable. So, what should we do? One possibility is to feed microbes plastic. Researchers have put on their culinary hats to create a plastic feast, but how does it work? They've discovered a bacteria that feeds on polyethylene terephthalate, or PET. They can easily deconstruct it into its constituent elements, terephthalate, or TPA, and ethylene glycol, or EG. However, in order for this process to make sense, the broken down materials must have a useful application. While EG has been used for years as a car antifreeze, TPA had been rendered ineffective until recently. That's when scientists discovered a recipe for a TPA-loving enzyme that breaks down the TPA. Other than plastic-eating microorganisms, there are ready-to-eat alternatives, such as fungus. Since 2006, a company called Ecovative has been converting fungi into cheaper, greener foams than those polystyrene-based ones. Their production has increased over time due to a 12% reduction in energy consumption and a 90% reduction in carbon footprint. That's where another plastic-free feedback comes into play here: seaweed. Seaweed startups are thriving. There are two significant reasons why seaweed could be a viable replacement for plastic. For starters, its sourcing is more environmentally friendly. Compared to terrestrial plants, seaweed grows 10 times faster, uses less water, and occupies less than 10% of the land required by those crops. Converting land-based plants into plastic-free utensils will also impact food production. Instead, seaweed will not endanger food security. Aside from sustainability, there is a practical aspect to consider. Seaweed contains an oily substance fraction that may function similarly to petroleum-derived oil. A slew of startups have recognized seaweed's potential and are now attempting to ride its slimy wave. Materials researchers from Australia's Flinders University and Germany's 1.5 have created a new non-polluting seaweed-based coating material designed to replace conventional fossil-based plastic coatings used in grease-resistant fast food packaging. According to a press release from Flinders University, the initiative aims to transform the global packaging and plastics industry by significantly reducing reliance on highly polluting conventional plastic. The packaging used to wrap our fast food hamburgers, fries, and chips is typically laminated with a thin layer of plastic to make it grease resistant. However, because this layer is typically made of synthetic polymer, this poses a problem in terms of recycling. This does not biodegrade in fragments into smaller pieces known as microplastics. Researchers from 1.5 and Flinders University have created an alternative, a seaweed-based coating that is not made of synthetic polymer. This also aligns with the goals of recently proposed revisions to EU packaging and waste rules. While researchers from Flinders University and 1.5 are doing their part, ULUU has started turning seaweed into biopolymers after raising $1.3 million in September 2021. Specifically, ULLU researchers say that polyhydroxyalkanoates, or PHAs, are as strong as plastic, but biodegrade even in the darkest and coldest parts of the ocean. Studies have shown that PHAs break down completely in about 2 months under normal conditions. This is a big improvement over traditional plastic, which can last for hundreds of years in the worst case. PHAs could be used to make different types of packaging, like films, boxes, or foams. The good news is that we might be able to buy the ULUU product soon, since the startup plans to open its first pilot plant in 2023. What is halting the seaweed tide? Clearly, seaweed appears to be a promising material for permanently replacing plastic. However, we must remember that algae-based products are still in their infancy compared to the mature plastic benchmark, whose production has been optimized over the last 6 decades. Seaweed packaging is still more expensive than plastic packaging because it is still a niche market. Nonetheless, some experts believe that the price will fall as more companies bring seaweed packaging to market. Because of plastic bans, the market for seaweed-based packaging is expected to grow at a 16% annual rate over the next 5 years. The possibilities of seaweed replacing plastic in the future are incredibly exciting. Not only is it a more sustainable and eco-friendly option, but it could also provide a number of other benefits. We're just beginning to scratch the surface when it comes to the potential uses of seaweed and its capacity to replace plastics in a variety of industries. It's sure to be an interesting journey, and one that could lead to a much more sustainable and environmentally friendly future. What are your thoughts on the video? Do you think we might someday say goodbye to plastic? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.